this is why guys kind of get to this level of stalking or being creepy. The answer to your problem is always sourcing new women. Abundance is always the answer. Go and talk to new women, because if you got a woman before, you can get a woman again, especially if you got your shit sorted out. If one girl leaves you, fuck that bitch. Who gives a shit?
Yep.
Move on. Find a better girl, because there's a woman out there that will be good for you. Especially, this is a tailored message to guys who are watching this kind of content. Because if you're focusing on the core four, money, muscles, game, and frame, and you're working on yourself every single day, and you're making yourself better, and you're pushing to exceed the limitations that were given you in this life, you are absolutely, it is literally statistically impossible for you to fail.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, what's the benefit? This is why I would never trade places with a woman, besides the fact that I don't want to actually have a vagina on my body, in my body, or whatever.
Bleed monthly.
That would be terrible. But but the reason why, like, guys will be like, women have all the privileges. It's like, they have privileges, but I would never want to trade places, because a man with game and frame and his life together has really everything, and we have a lot more chances for making mistakes too. Because here's the thing, there's never a time in your life as a man that you can't get a better option.
Right.
Like, the reason why, and this fucks with women's head, right? But it is the case. Like, I have an awesome girl, she's the greatest. I stay with her, and I'm with her because I want to be with her.
Right.
Not because I have to be with her, because I can't find anybody else or anybody better. And here's how that ends up working out. It's like, even you're making yourself better as a man every single day, your sexual market value goes up. And your sexual market value should be raising at a greater rate than what age will do to lower your value.
Right.
And so if for women, it doesn't work that way, though. Women, age accelerates the loss of their sexual market value. Oof. Versus the other things that they could increase. They can do their best. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I would take, if I was single, I would take a hot 40-year-old girl with her shit together that complements my life over a 22-year-old who's a nutcase any day of the week. But the point is, though, is for every year, whether she's 22 or 40, for every year that woman gets older, her value decreases more than what she can build with the other traits. I mean, a 22-year-old girl will stay high value in terms of, with age not being a factor for a while. But once she starts to get over 30, it exponentially starts going down. Now, she can still be a lot of value to a man, with what she brings to the table outside of her youthfulness, as provided she takes care of herself and her body. But the reality is, though, is that she is in a loss, right? For guys, it's just not that way. I mean, if you're 80 years old and your 60-year-old woman says, I don't want to be with you anymore, you can get another, if you're a hot 80-year-old, you can get another 60-year-old. You can get a 55-year-old. You probably get another 50-year-old. That's hot. That's better. That's better than who just left you. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, it's all relative. Now, as 80, unless you're just paying for it and she just wants your will, are you going to get a 21-year-old that's genuinely attracted to you at 80? Probably not, right? But you could get a 50-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You get another 60-year-old. And so, like,
you don't have to be alone. That's why in the commercial for the Dark Past Harem, I literally say, you never have to worry about finding another female companion. Like, you don't. Like all my bitches can leave me today and I will have replacements. And statistically speaking, the ones that I had now, I acquired with my game skill in 2021.
Yeah.
And I have grown leaps and bounds, namely thanks to you, King Dre, and Ryan Fowler from intermasculine.com.
Nice. All great dudes.
Dude, the star-studded alliance, man.
Yeah.
And you guys know what happened, and you guys know all the things I've been going through and like leveling myself up. I know that I could replace them. And then the
Yeah.
thing is this too, I've consistently been studying marketing. I'm consistently studying cryptocurrency investments. Like, and that's what I'm raising. Like, I'm raising my game here, but I'm also raising my frame as well as my money. And I've been going to the gym literally every day recently. And I'm just firing all jets as the year is winding down and most people are getting lazier. I am putting my foot on the gas, and I know I'm raising my sexual market value. And you talked to me behind the scenes too, like, you know, you're pretty confident I could go out and get like a team of bangers. But the thing is, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
quite frankly, I'm just more concerned about, you know, getting my message out there. You know, they just shouted me out on Valuetainment Money. There, you know, what's funny? I don't know if you saw it, but Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment Money, he asked Robert Kiyosaki, he's like, hey, you know, he's like, have you heard the saying, make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame? He's like, yeah, I have heard it. And I was just like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, mind boggling. But like I said, that's what I'm focusing on and raising my SMV. And I think guys need to understand, like, even if you're studying and you're doing better, and you're just making these incremental gains, you're still making massive gains in everything that you can't even observe yet, that are kind of like, you know,
right. And this is why when that girl,
oil.
and when that girl leaves you, you should, in theory, be a better version of yourself at the end of that relationship. And therefore, and most women don't improve themselves.
No.
I'm not going to say all women. I'm not going to say all women, but most. You know what I mean?
98%.
Right. I mean, like, and there are exceptions. Like, I will say, hands down, even though it's been a short relationship so far, my LTR has improved herself immensely since we've been together. You know what I mean? And hopefully, if anything were to happen or something, I don't think there would be anytime in the near future. You know, if she were to go someplace, I would hope she would take those improvements with her rest of her life. You know, so she actually is. But most of the time though, women are they're not really improving themselves, at least not at the rate that you are, and having that focus. It's just not their focus because they're not results and goal driven in the same way that we're wired to be as men. As men, we've been classically the people who get the resources and protect the tribe. Well, that requires goal setting and future planning and constantly improving yourself so you can bring those resources in better or protect yourself better in case of a more powerful opponent. And in fact, there's a bit of it. That's where the arms race happens, at least tribally. You know, you want to know that you have enough to secure your own well-being against an opposing force. And so this is why, like, it's never enough, right? Like, you could have $500,000, which by most people in the United States, for example, don't have $500,000, right? They just don't, right?
Right.
So that would be considered pretty good if you had that. But you're never going to be like, oh, I'm safe now. You know what I mean? You're going to you want $1 million. You get $1 million. You're like, I need 8 figures. I need 10 of these, because you're never safe enough from an opposing force. That keeps us goal driven, focused forward, which keeps us self-improving. Women being focused, just on their innate drives, focusing them on better utilization and efficiency of the resources as well as social connections, they're going to improve themselves to some degree, of course, but they're not as driven. They're not in that same arms race. The arms race that they're in is more intersexually, meaning, they're competing with other women to be seen as a better woman. So that's why the fat 35-year-old woman is going to shame me for me. My girlfriend is 20 years younger than me, because that's her way of competing in the marketplace. So you'll see that stuff. That's not really self-improvement. That 35-year-old who's not going to the gym and treats her husband like crap isn't, exactly making herself better. She's just finding a way, to compete by shaming other people. So this is just what you end up with. And when you're improving yourself as a guy, chances are, like, you met her, let's say two years ago, and you kept making yourself better. Maybe she made herself a little better. Let's say she made herself 15% better, and you made yourself 75% better. Your SMV's considerably higher than hers now. your prognosis, if you can get over the emotional attachment of the dead relationship, is a better woman for you and a more attractive woman. And that will persist for the rest of your life as a man. Literally, for the rest of your life, if you can get rid of unhealthy attachments to dead relationships and people that don't care about you, and continue to improve yourself, you are never without. And to women, it can be off-putting because for her, she needs to feel like she won the lottery with you, and that she can't replace you or probably can't. For you, you could, which is off-putting. It's not to disrespect her. It's not that you don't love her or whatever, but you could plug and play another hot girl, whatever, that's good for you. Now, the difference is, though, when she has to get comfortable with that, because that means that you want to be with her. As a man, you choose to be with her because she is special to you. And there's it's the emotional connection and her desire towards you and that attraction she has for you and what that's what makes her special. If she stops doing those things and that desire goes away and the emotional connection for you isn't there, you know what I mean? If she stops managing that, you can replace. And it's a powerful place to be as a guy. You're always there, though. You just have to see that you're there.